What is going on, my corn stalks? My name is Cody. I'm back at you with another video. Pricing your home is a deal breaker for most people. If you don't price your home right, you're gonna struggle to sell it. You're gonna get crap offers on it, and you're not gonna get profits or the terms that you want in a transaction. It could be the biggest reason why your listing will go stale and your home won't sell, and it's gonna be a mess for you. After this, you should know exactly how to price your home, or be fairly familiar with how to price it, or be like, I don't feel like doing that, well, I'll just have Cody do it. Either or, let's get into this. But I need you to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, because we are trying to grow this channel to the moon. And I need your help to do that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Pricing your home is one of the most important factors in selling. So there's a couple different things to think about when you're pricing the home. You should have watched the foundation. What is the proper foundation for a home? Because pricing can be even tougher when the foundation is not laid out properly. So go ahead and watch that video again, or if you haven't yet, go ahead and watch it so that we can understand the foundation. So this is assuming your foundation is right, because if your foundation is not right, price doesn't mean much. What happens when it's not priced correctly? When your home's not priced correctly? This is something that I get from people all the time. They say, well, the high end is this. Well, let's start at the high end, you know? Because we can always lower the price later, and I know a bunch of agents who say that, and they are absolutely incorrect. Because if you price too high, you're chasing the market down. You have these people up here who've seen it overpriced. Agents and buyers think that you're not a motivated seller because your house is priced so high. And because of that, agents and buyers are less likely to want to work with you, because now they see this as gonna be pulling hairs to get this home under contract and get us to the closing table, because you're not motivated. So why would they waste their time on it if you're not motivated to actually get to the closing table? Also, when you're priced high up there, you're chasing the market down. So when you're chasing the market down, it means that we priced up here. No one wanted it up here, so now we're lowering it. But people who already saw it up here now think something's wrong with the home. So you're slowly lowering it, and you're chasing it down to where someone's gonna meet you at the in-between spot with a mediocre offer. It's better to price too low than to price too high, because in this market that we are currently in, if you price a little too low, offers will come in to bring it back up to what it should be. If you price too high, you have to slowly bring it down, and an offer is gonna try to meet you even lower most of the time. And then you have to try to negotiate it back up to the top. And that offer is not going to have good terms, because there is more to a home offer than just the price. There is the lender. What kind of loan type are they? Do they want inspections? How many days of possession are they willing to give you? Are they putting 20% down, 10% down, 5% down? Who is the agent? Does the agent have a good reputation? In the recent one, we knew it was worth between these two numbers, and I'm not gonna give you the numbers. We knew we're between these two numbers, so somewhere in the middle, but we priced it below that with the goal of getting multiple offers and having our choice of which one we want to go with the best terms and the best price. And we ended up getting the best terms and the best price and the best lender and the best loan type. So we got everything we wanted, because we priced a little low and we had a selection. If we would have went with the first two offers that came in, we would have gone with one of the worst offers. And if we were priced high, those would have been our only offers, and that we would have not had the choice of our own from the other offers. Now that we're done talking about why it's so important to price your home right, we now are going to be talking about how to price it right. What are we looking at when we're pricing a home? You can do this by yourself if you wanted to. If you have the time and the means and the knowledge to do this, then go ahead and do this by yourself. If not, give me a call. I'll help you with this. So when you're trying to price a home, you're looking for homes that are similar to your homes. And you can use Zillow to do this. You can use Zillow to find this. I don't use Zillow. I use the MLS because it's easier and better. And I use a special program we have that helps me find these and make adjustments to it. But you can do this in an Excel sheet, or I'm sure there's some sort of software that helps you online where you can do it for free. But when you're looking for it, you want to at least minimum have have 3 comparables if you can. The goal is to have 6 comparables to compare your home with, so that way it can be the most accurate. If you want to make sure that they are comparable. So if you have a 1-story home with a basement, you cannot compare your 1-story home with a basement to a 2-story home on a slab. They do not sell the same. The price per square foot is not the same. That's going to set it out of whack. And the people looking for a 2-story home are different than the people looking for a 1-story home. They have different needs, different desires, so you're marketing to a whole different person. If your home has a basement and the comparable does not have a basement, it's not a very good comparable unless it's your only option on comparables. And then in that case, you need to adjust it properly for that extra basement, because people that want basements over cross spaces, and people want cross spaces over slabs most of the time. People want 1-story more often than people want 2-story. 2 stories sell for different than 1 stories do. So you cannot compare a 1-story with a 2-story. Age of the house. If your house was built in the early 1900s or late 1800s or early 1800s, if that your house is that old, you cannot compare your house, or it's harder to compare a house with a home built after 1940. Why? Because after 1940, the basements were different. Before 1940, the basements were built a certain way. After 1940, they completely changed it. Same way, if you have a home that was built in 1980s, you really should not go back further than 1960. Even 1960 might be too far, because the way they built the homes in the 1980s was very different than how they built the homes in the 1960s. So on and so forth, okay? So you have to compare it with things within the age of your home. If your home was built in 1980s and you're trying to compare it with a home built in 2014, it's not a comparable. You cannot do that. The 2014 is going to sell for more square footage than your 1980s home is going to sell for. So if you're getting the right comparables, they should be built within the same time range. So they should have the same below grade, the same foundation or similar foundation. They should be a similar height. So 1-story or 2-story can compare with a 3-story, can compare with a 4-story, etc. And they should be in the same area, vaguely the same area. If you live in a subdivision it's harder to compare your home with something on a county road, because subdivisions sell different than county roads, because people look in subdivisions for the very simple fact that they don't want to live on a county road or a main road. So now we're talking about area. What I do is I typically go out a mile within that same place, and I make sure that they're in the similar school systems and sometimes similar township. And the reason is because Penn Schools sells different than Elkhart Schools. If I'm looking at a Granger home, I'm not going to compare the Granger home that's in Penn School to a Granger home that is in Elkhart Schools, because it's a completely different buyer. Because people are going into the Granger home probably to be in the Penn Harrison High School, and the high school that they want. Now, finally, you want to make sure the square footage, the above grade square footage, is similar or within a certain range, a reasonable range of what yours is. So if your above grade square footage is 1,000, then you don't want to look at homes under, 700 square feet above grade or more than 1,400 square feet above grade, unless you have to, because there's not enough options for you to compare them. Keep this in mind. If your home has 2,000 square feet and all your comparables have 1,700 square feet, your home is not going to sell for the same per square foot as the rest of them. And this is where one of the biggest issues come in. People will look at a home and they'll say, oh, this home is selling for $100 per square foot. My home has more square feet by a lot. Mine must be getting 100 per square foot. No, that is incorrect, and it's reasonable to assume that you would get the same per square foot as the comparables, but more because your house is bigger, but that is not the case. What actually happens is when you have more square feet on your home than the competition, than the comparables, then you get less per square foot. The bigger your house is, the less per square foot you're gonna get as a comparable. If your comparables have, if 5 of your comparables had 1,000 square feet and they're getting $100 per square foot above grade, and yours has 800 square feet above grade, you can assume that you're going to probably get like 110 per square foot, maybe 120 per square foot because of the size difference. Because you're going to get more per square foot. That's why when people say be the smallest house on the block, it's because you're getting more per square foot than the competition. That's why you don't want to be the biggest house on the block, because you're going to get less per square foot than your comparables. Same deal if you have 5 that are all 1,000 square feet and then they're getting 100 per square foot, but your home is, 1,300 square feet above grade, so you have 300 more square foot above grade, you'll probably only be getting around 85 to 90 at the max per square foot for your home. So it's going to drop a lot per square foot because of the size difference. That's how you properly adjust a house and find what your home might sell for. If you got value from this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And click this video because YouTube thinks you're gonna love it, or wait till the end and click that video instead.